What's up, guys? Let's talk about the Gunslinger subclass. I've been using this subclass almost exclusively for the past week now, and I've been having a few people asking me about my particular build and setup that I'm using. So I wanted to break it down for you guys and show you what particular skill sets I'm using on the Gunslinger skill tree and why I'm using them and how I am trying to use them to be more effective in the Crucible. So going from left to right down the columns, in the grenade column I'm using trip mines. To me it's the obvious choice, and I'm also coupling that with the young Ahamkara's spine, so I have two trip mines and their duration lasts longer. For the jump, I'm going to use triple jump. That's my personal favorite. It's best for juking out opponents and being able to get around pretty well. Some people prefer the better control, but I just can't really get used to it. For the golden gun, I'm going to use Deadeye, and the reason I use that is because this increases your aim assist on the golden gun by a lot. I mean, you're going to hit shots with Deadeye that you probably should have missed. So I mean, extra aim assist is always a good thing, and that's why I run with it. Now down in the throwing knife column, I use Knife Juggler. That's the one that gives you your throwing knife right back once you get a precision kill with it. So that just goes into the I just want to have throwing knives as much as possible. And that's kind of the point of this whole build, is having as much equipment as possible. I want to have as many grenades and as many throwing knives as possible. For the armor and agility and recovery, that's pretty much up to you. It comes down to personal preference. I kind of tend to run a little bit stronger armor on this particular subclass. And the reason I do that is just for me. You might have a different opinion, but I feel like the Gunslinger is the least mobile of the three hunter classes. So like, they have Blink for the Blade Dancer, you got Shade Step for the Night Stalker. Gunslinger's kind of left without any of those cool extra mobility perks. So that's why I feel like it needs a little bit more armor on its side to kind of counteract that. That's just the way I run it. I don't feel like there's any wrong or right way to run those particular stats. Alright, next I use Scavenger, and I've always used Gunslinger's Trance, always. And I feel like most people usually use Gunslinger's Trance because of the extra stability, which makes sense. But I never realized how much of a difference Scavenger actually makes. When you pick up a lot of special ammo and even primary ammo just from shooting down other opponents, this can cut your cooldown in half for your melee and your grenade. And again, it goes into that I always want to have my grenade and I always want to have my melee, so I'm a more effective fighter. Lastly, I got Gambler's Dagger. That's the one that gives you two throwing knives. So as you can tell, this kind of build that I'm using is geared towards having a lot of grenades and having a lot of throwing knives. Also, I'm running max intellect and about halfway maxed out strength and discipline. So I'm going to have a lot of grenades and throwing knives to my disposal, and they're going to regenerate pretty quick, especially with the scavenger perk. So that's great, that's fine and dandy, but it's not going to help me out if I don't know how to use them effectively. Especially in the case of the throwing knife, I feel like a lot of people don't use them very much. They don't get a lot of love in the Crucible. At least I don't get killed by them very much. It's probably because people don't really have a lot of success with them and kind of just steer clear of it, which is understandable. They're not the easiest thing to use, but I've found that they're easiest used defensively. So if someone's rushing you with a shotgun, for example, like right here, this guy's pushing up on me. I put a few shots into him with the pulse rifle, finish him off with a throwing knife, and it's pretty simple. I mean, he's coming straight at me. You know, you almost can't miss if your target acquisition is on point. Just throw the knife and that's it. It can get a little bit harder though. Like right here, this guy was in the air. You want to throw the knife not where they are currently, but where you think they're going to be. So that's where you're going to run into problems, because you kind of have to lead your target and you're going to miss. I mean, it's going to happen. You just got to get used to it. Even the best throwing knife throwers ever are going to miss. But it just comes with practice, and just don't beat yourself up when you miss and have fun with it, you know? As far as the trip mine grenades go, I feel like they're a lot more forgiving. They're a really great grenade overall. The biggest thing you want to know, and I know it's pretty obvious, you don't use them like a regular grenade. You know, you don't want to throw it at the feet of the person you're trying to kill. The best way to use it is to throw it in a doorway, or right here you're going to see I'm going to throw it at the wall behind this guy. That's really the best way to use the throwing knives. Try to trap people. if you throw them in an obvious place, no one's gonna walk into it. But if you're pushing somebody and you throw them into the wall, then you're gonna have more success with it. So in a nutshell, that's basically how I've been running the Gunslinger, and I've been having a lot of fun with it and having quite a bit of success. Had a lot of fun in trials this past weekend, just trying to use the throwing knives and the trip mines as much as possible, and the super of course is awesome too. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and peace out here because my baby's starting to get fussy, and I know he's gonna start crying in about any second now. But thanks for watching the video, guys. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.